Ghost Rider. The demon Mephistopheles sends his bounty hunter of the damned, the Ghost Rider, to retrieve the contract of San Venganza for control of 1,000 corrupt souls. Seeing that the agreement would give Mephistopheles the power to bring hell on earth, the rider refuses and escapes with it. In 1986, Mephistopheles reaches out to 17-year-old Johnny Blaze, offering to cure his father's cancer in exchange for Johnny's soul. The next morning, Johnny awakens to discover the cancer cured, but his father dies from burns sustained in a stunt accident. Johnny accuses Mephistopheles of causing his father's death, but Mephistopheles considers his side of the contract fulfilled and promises to see Johnny again. Mephistopheles' son Blackheart comes to Earth and seeks aid from the hidden, 3 fallen angels bonded with the elements of air, earth, and water, to find the lost contract of San Venganza. In 2007, Johnny has become a famous stunt motorcycle rider. He runs into his former sweetheart Roxanne Simpson, now a news reporter, whom he abandoned after his father's death. He convinces her to attend a dinner date. Mephistopheles makes Johnny the new Ghost Rider and offers to return his soul if he defeats Blackheart. Johnny transforms into the Ghost Rider, his flesh burning off his skeleton, and kills the Earth Angel Gressel. He then uses the Penance Stare, a power that causes mortals to feel all the pain they have caused others, searing their soul, on a thug. The next day, he meets a man called the Caretaker, who knows about the Ghost Rider's history. He assures Johnny that what happened was real and will happen again, especially at night, when he is near an evil soul. Johnny leaves to find Roxanne, who's reporting the last night's events on the news. At home, Johnny tries to control his fire power. Roxanne comes to visit before leaving town, and Johnny reveals himself as the devil's bounty hunter. Unconvinced, she walks away in disbelief. After brief imprisonment for murders Blackheart committed, Johnny kills the air angel Abigor and escapes from the police. He returns to the Caretaker, who tells him of his predecessor Carter Slade, a Texas Ranger who hid the contract of San Venganza. At home, Johnny discovers that Blackheart has killed his friend Mac and taken Roxanne captive, intending to kill her if Johnny does not deliver the contract. Johnny tries to use the Penance Stare on Blackheart, but it proves ineffective as Blackheart has no soul. Blackheart then orders Johnny to retrieve the contract and bring it to him in San Venganza. Johnny returns to the Caretaker, demanding the contract to save Roxanne. The Caretaker reveals that it is hidden inside a spade, telling Johnny that he is more powerful than his predecessors because he sold his soul for love rather than greed, before giving the contract. The Caretaker then transforms with Blaze, revealing that the Caretaker was actually Carter Slade. Slade then leads Johnny to San Venganza and gives him a lever-action shotgun before saying his goodbyes and fading away. After killing the water angel Wallow, Johnny gives Blackheart the contract. He transforms into the Ghost Rider to subdue Blackheart, but is rendered powerless at sunrise. Using the contract to absorb the 1,000 souls, Blackheart attempts to kill Johnny but is distracted when Roxanne uses Johnny's discarded shotgun to separate them. Johnny shoots Blackheart with the gun, holding it in the shadows to allow him to enhance it with his power. Keeping his own body in shadow, he transforms again and uses his Penance Stare to render Blackheart catatonic by burning all the corrupt souls within him. Mephistopheles appears and declares the contract is complete, offering to take back the curse of the Ghost Rider. Determined not to make another deal, Johnny declines, declaring that he will use his power against the demon and against all harm that comes to the innocent. Infuriated, Mephistopheles vows to make Johnny pay and disappears with Blackheart's body. Roxanne tells Johnny that he has his second chance and kisses him. Johnny rides away on his motorcycle, preparing for his new life as the Ghost Rider. Cast: Nicolas Cage as Johnny Blaze / Ghost Rider, a motorcycle stunt rider, who is tricked into making a deal with the devil thinking that it will save his father from dying, and is subsequently transformed into a supernatural demonic soul hunter, the devil's spirit of vengeance, the Ghost Rider. As his work for Mephisto continues, he hunts down the demons which have escaped from hell. Matt Long as young Johnny Blaze. Eva Mendes as Roxanne Simpson, Johnny's childhood love interest, and current girlfriend who is a news reporter. Raquel Alessi as young Roxanne Simpson. Wes Bentley as Blackheart / Legion, the illegitimate son of Mephisto, who wants to use the contract of San Venganza in order to unleash hell on Earth. Sam Elliott as Carter Slade/Caretaker, a former Ghost Rider, and an ally and mentor to Blaze. Elliott previously worked with Marvel as General Thunderbolt Ross in Hulk, 2003. Donal Logue as Mac, a member of Johnny's team and his own impresario. Peter Fonda as Mephistopheles/the Devil, with whom Blaze makes a contractual deal in order to save the latter's father from cancer. Deceivingly, Mephistopheles causes Blaze's father to die the next day in a motorcycling accident. Mephistopheles is in search for his illegitimate son, Blackheart, who seeks to overthrow him. The two race in search of the contract of San Venganza, a binding note of 1,000 damned souls. Brett Cullen as Barton Blaze, Johnny Blaze's deceased father, and former motorcycle stunt rider. David Roberts as Captain Jack Dolan, a police captain. Lawrence Brules as Gressel, a fallen angel with Earth-based powers, and one of Blackheart's minions. Daniel Fredrickson as Wallow, a fallen angel with water-based powers, and one of Blackheart's minions. Matthew Wilkinson as Abigor, a fallen angel with wind-based powers, and one of Blackheart's minions. Rebel Wilson as a girl in the alley. Production: Ghost Rider's motorcycle, in its supernatural transformed shape. Victorian Railway's L-Class locomotive used in a key scene filmed at Newport Railway Workshops. Development: Marvel began development for Ghost Rider as early as 1992 and were in discussions with potential producers to sell the rights to 8. In 1997 Gail Ann Hurd was listed as producer, with Jonathan Hensley attached to write the script. 9. David S. Goyer developed a script, and in May 2000 Marvel announced an agreement with Crystal Sky Entertainment to film Ghost Rider with actor Jon Voight attached as a producer. 10. Production was scheduled to start in early 2001 with a budget of $75 million and Johnny Depp expressing interest in the lead role. 11. The following August, Dimension Films joined Crystal Sky to co-finance the film, which would be directed by Stephen Norrington. 12. Producer Avi Arad approached Eric Bana on the possibility of playing Ghost Rider, but opted to cast him in Hulk instead. 13. In June 2001, actor and Ghost Rider fan Nicolas Cage entered talks to be cast into the lead role. 14. After having found out about Depp being a possibility for the role and contacted the director to express his own interest. 15. Norrington would drop out within a few months due his commitment to TikTok. 16. And Cage eventually left the project as well. By May 2002 Columbia Pictures sought to acquire rights to Ghost Rider in turnaround from Dimension Films following their success with Spider-Man 17. They brought Shane Salerno to rewrite Goyer's script. 18. In April 2003, under Columbia Pictures, director Mark Steven Johnson took over the helm for Ghost Rider, with Cage returning for the lead role. Johnson, rewriting Salerno's script, was set to begin production of Ghost Rider in late 2003 or early 2004. 19. But it was delayed to October 2003. Cage took a temporary leave of absence to film The Weatherman. Ghost Rider production was slated to tentatively begin in May or June 2004. 20. Ghost Rider had again been delayed to begin in late 2004, but the lack of a workable script continued to delay production. 21. In January 2005, actor Wes Bentley was cast as the villain Blackheart, having been introduced to Johnson by Colin Farrell, who had worked with the director in Daredevil. 22. Actress Eva Mendes was also cast opposite Cage as Roxanne Simpson. 23. On February 14, 2005, Ghost Rider commenced filming in Australia at the Melbourne Docklands Film Studios. 24. Then in March 2005, actor Peter Fonda, who starred in Easy Rider, was cast as the villain Mephistopheles. 25. Johnson originally planned to film before an audience at the Docklands Stadium, but instead opted to create a crowd using computer-generated imagery. 26. The director also chose to film in the motorcycle district of Melbourne. 27. By June 2005, principal photography had been completed for Ghost Rider. 28, which was set for a summer 2006 release. 29. In April 2006, the cast and crew performed last-minute reshoots in Vancouver. 30. Ghost Rider was originally scheduled to release on August 4, 2006. 31, but the date was moved 3 weeks earlier to July 14, 2006. 32. Sony changed the film's release date once more to February 16, 2007 to help relieve the studio's crowded 2006 calendar. 33. Character portrayal. Instead of a hard-drinking and smoking badass Johnny Blaze, Nicolas Cage decided to give him more depth. I'm playing him more as someone who made this deal and he's trying to avoid confronting it, anything he can do to keep it away from him. Cage also explained that Blaze's stunt riding was a form of escape and a way to keep him connected to his deceased father, who taught him to ride. Cage rode a Buell motorcycle for Blaze's stunt cycle, and a heavily customized hardtail chopper named Grace, which transforms into the Hell Cycle. 34 The Hell Cycle's wheels, made of pure flames in the comics, were changed to be solid tires covered in flames in order to give the motorcycle more weight on screen. 35. The film's visual effects supervisor, Kevin Mack, and the visual effects team at Sony Pictures Imageworks handled the difficult task of creating computer-generated fire on a shot-by-shot basis. 36 Ghost Rider's skull flames were designed to become smaller and blue to display any emotion other than rage. 35 Kevin's team at Imageworks also created computer-generated motorcycles, chains, water, black goo, dementors and buildings. To pull off such effects as the living morph where the hardtail chopper, Grace, comes alive to become the Hell Cycle, Sony enlisted teams of animators, models, effects artists, lighters, flame artists. The department supervisors for these teams at Imageworks included Kevin Hudson, Brian Steiner, J.D. Cowles, Marco Merghi, Joe Spadaro, Joni Karnowski, Vincent Saritella, Patrick Whitting. Patrick's team bore the brunt of the work as they created the fire using a custom pipeline that automated the setup, starting with Maya animated geometry driving Maya fluids, imported into Houdini and then rendered composite on top of the live-action plates. Patrick and his team set up the fire process, and much of the front-end automation was set up by Scott Paleko and Joe Spadaro. The fire was then tweaked and manipulated to look and move believably by Patek's 11-man Houdini effects team. All of this was enabled by effects producers Daniel Kuhn and the digital effects supervisor Ki-Suk Ken-han. The digital version of the Hell Cycle was modeled in detail by Kevin Hudson, and based on the practical prop used in the film, it included animatable skeletal hands that came alive to wrap the gas tank during the supernatural transformation scene. The transformation scene was animated by Max Thierry and finalized by Joe Spadaro. Each part of the Grace geometry had to match up and morph with a piece of geometry on the Hell Cycle. Ghost Rider's voice was manipulated by sound designer Dane Davis, who won an Academy Award for sound editing for The Matrix. Davis filtered Cage's line readings through 3 different kinds of animal growls that were played backwards and covered separate frequencies. Davis then amplified the dialogue through a mechanical volumizer. Director Johnson described the sound as a deep, demonic, mechanical lion's roar. 37.